Good morning, everyone. So, welcome back to the next topic of network analysis and transmission lines. So, previous class we have discussed about what are the basic terms which we need to learn in order to understand the network topology. Then after that we have discussed about how to write an incidence matrix. Then we discussed about the tie-set schedule. So as we know that the tie-set schedule is similar to the loop analysis method, we have seen what are the steps that are involved in order to frame the final relation between uh, branch voltages, loop currents and branch currents. So we have discussed tie-set schedule, how to write a tie-set matrix and how to frame the basic equations from tie-set schedule, right? So today we will be discussing about another technique which is related with node analysis, which we call it as a cut-set schedule. So today we will talk about cut-set schedule. So what is cut-set schedule? So similar to tie-set schedule, cut-set schedule is related with node analysis. So here we are going to frame the relationship between the node voltages. Okay. So in order to understand the tie-set schedule, let me consider an example here. So let me take one circuit. So let us draw the circuit here. Okay, so an example I am considering here, right? So okay, so let me represent the voltage here. This is the voltage source, okay, whose value is, let us consider it as V. Okay, now let us name the resistors here. This is R1, this is R2, and this is R3, this is R4, this is R5, and this is R6. Okay, so let us consider a simple network here which consists of a voltage source and a resistor. Okay, now before we start or before we know how to write a cut-set schedule or a matrix, let us follow the steps. So for the given network, the first step that we need to consider here is to mark the nodes. Let us identify the nodes here. So let us consider that this will act as a node because to this there are three branches are associated. So let me mark this node as A. Right? Now let us come to this left corner. So if I consider here, so this will be my second node. Let us name it as a B. Similarly to the right, you have another node. Let us name it as a C. Then R4, R5 and R6 are connected to this common point. So this will become a fourth node. Let us name it as a D. So according to our node convention, now we could able to identify that there are four nodes in the network. Right? Now let us mark the total number of branches here. Okay, so let me start assuming the branches here from the voltage source. So this is minus to plus. Let me consider the current flowing through this first branch as I1. Okay, once this comes to this node A, this gets divided between R2 and then R5. Let us name the current which is flowing through R2 as I2 and the current which is flowing through R5 as I5. So that in order to have a better clarity, let me consider the convention. Okay. Right. So let me draw this current as I5, right? Now I5 is coming to D. Once it comes to D, it divides between your R4 and R6. So let us name this current which is flowing through R4 as I4, current flowing through R6 as I6. Okay. Now let us consider from A to C the current I2 is flowing. From D to C I6 is coming. Once it comes, it goes to R3. Let us name this current as I3. I hope it is clear to everyone. So for this particular network, if you see, there are 4 nodes and there are 6 branches. So for these 6 branches, I have named the current as I1, I2, I3, I4, I5 and I6. Then the nodes we have named it as A, B, C and D. Okay. So this is about the first step. Now after identifying all the branch currents here, the next step what we do here is same like what we have done for the cut set schedule. Now I am going to draw the graph. Okay, let us draw the graph here. Okay, so in order to draw the graph, we know the procedure. So for drawing the graph, let me first mark the nodes here. So my node is A. Okay, here to the left corner we have B, then I have C, then in the middle I am having a node as D, right? So let us first mark all the nodes. Okay, after marking the nodes, now we know that all the resistors according to the graph, how to draw the graph procedure, we know that all the elements are replaced with the lines if they are resistor, inductor and capacitor. All voltage sources are short circuited and all the current sources are open circuited. Now if you observe your network, there is no current source, we have only voltage source. Okay, so let me draw the network. So from B to A we get one line, A to C I get another line, B to C I get one more line, then A to D I am having R5, so I will get one more line, right? Then from B to D I am having R4, you get one more line. Then from C to D I am having one more resistor, so I get another line. This is how your graph looks like. Okay. Now, for the same graph, I am going to now plot the oriented graph. Right? So you know what is oriented graph? Oriented graph is nothing but here we have to mark the direction of all the branch currents, right? So for that now I am going to consider here from B to A we are having a current as I1, right? From A to D I am having a fifth branch which we have represented it as I5. Then from A to C, I am having a branch current as I2, right? Then from B to D, I am having a fourth branch. Let us call this current as I4. Then from C to D, I am having a sixth branch. We have represented this current as I6. Then from B to C, I am having the current as third branch, which is I3, right? This is how your oriented graph looks like, right? Now after drawing a oriented graph, now let us talk about the tree. Okay, now let us see how to draw the tree. Okay, now in order to draw the tree, as we know that I have to first find out the total number of links which are present in my graph. So what is the formula that we have? So we have total number of links is given by B minus N plus 1. That is total number of branches minus the total number of nodes plus 1. Now according to the given circuit diagram, if I see, so let us find out the total number of links required. Now I have total 6 branches, right? Then I have 4 nodes, then plus 1, which is equal to 3. That means the total number of links which we require in order to draw the tree is 3. That means that as we already know that the total number of links is nothing but the total number of loops which are present in the circuit, right? So now based on this, let us draw a tree. Okay, now in order to draw the tree here, so what I have to do now? All the closed loops I have to make it open, right? So now in order to draw the tree, let us mark the nodes first. So I am having A, right? Then I am having B, then I am having C, then I am having D. Okay, these are my 4 nodes. Now what I will do is I have to remove one particular branch from each loop in order to draw the tree. So what I have to do now is I am going to draw one line from A to D, okay, from B to D, then from C to D. So I am going to remove the 3 outer branches in order to get the tree. As we already know that for every graph we have n number of trees, so I am taking this particular tree. Now what you have to do here? So all the trees have to be replaced. The branches which you have removed in order to make it an open loop has to be replaced with a link. So let me draw the links here. So this is my first link, this is my second link, and this is my third link, right? So now in order to understand how to write a cut set schedule, so I will tell you how to assume the directions of the node currents. Okay, so in order to do that, let me consider another sheet here. Okay, so that I can explain you in a clear manner. So right, so let me draw the nodes first because this is important. So I have taken this as my tree. So nodes I am naming it as A, right? This is B, this is C, and this is D, right? Now the links I am going to draw with a different color so that you can identify what is link and what is branch. So for links I am using a red color, which is drawn with the dotted line. Okay. Now let us mark all the branch currents here. Okay, so this was our current I1. Right? Now, then this current we have taken it as second branch, I2. This was my fifth branch, I5. Okay, then this was my third branch, I3. Right? Then this was my fourth branch, I4, and this was my sixth branch, I6. Right? So these are my branch currents. Now I hope it is clear to everyone till here. Now, in order to write a cut set schedule here, so what we have to do now? So in order to write a cut set schedule, what I need to do is, there are 4 nodes. Out of these 4 nodes, one node you have to always consider as a reference node. So it can be anything. You can take A or B or C or D. I am taking D as my reference node. Okay. So D I am considering as my reference node, right? So if I take D as a reference node, what are the nodes left with me? There are three nodes are left, that is A, B and C. Now what you need to do in order to write a cut set schedule? Okay. So let me consider the nodes now. So what you have to do is draw a small circle around A, B and C. Okay. Now let us first consider A. So if I consider A, there are three branches are associated with A. That is, one is I1, I2 and I5. Out of these three branches, we know that I1 and I2 are the links and I5 is our branch. So what you need to do in a cut set schedule is, for this A node, you have to see the direction of the branch current, which is I5 in this case. And now what you have to do is see the direction of the current. According to this, the I5 current is leaving the node A. Therefore, what you have to do here is, you have to draw one reference direction of the current as a leaving the node and rename this node as Q. Okay, or let us write it as a P. We'll go according to alphabetical this thing. So let me rename this particular node as P. Okay, similarly, coming to C. Now, if I see C here, the nodes which are associated with C are 2, 6 and then 5. So, in this 2, 6 and 5, if you look at this, so 6 is my branch. Remaining I2 and I3 are the links. Now, I have to go according to the direction of branch, which is 6th branch. So according to this, if I see this current is entering the node C. So what will I do? I will draw one arrow mark showing the current entering the node and I will rename this node as Q. Right? Similarly, coming to B. So B has I3, I4, I5. Out of this, 3 and 5 are my links and 4 is my branch. So I have to see the direction of the branch current which is entering the node B. So I have to draw the current direction entering the node and let us rename this node as R. So now I have three new nodes which are P, Q and R. Out of P, Q and R, P is one which is leaving the node, whereas Q and R are the one which are entering the node. Okay. Now based on this, let us write down the cut set schedule. So in order to write the cut set schedule here, I am going to tell you how to write the cut set schedule. Okay. So now let us start writing the cut set schedule. Okay. So now let us write down a cut set matrix. Okay. Now in order to write a cut set matrix, now first you have to write the node voltages here. Okay. Right? Then to the other side you have to write the branches. So I am having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 branches. Right? Now, what are my nodes? I have to take the reference new node names what I have written. So let me name it as P. Okay. Then Q and then R. Right? Now, so let me write down for P what are the branches and links are associated. It is 1, 2, 5. Okay. Similarly for Q, I am having 2, 4, 6. Then for R, I am having 1, 4, 3, 4. Right? Now, so what you have to do is, now you have to fill the rows here. In order to fill the rows, what I have to do now is, let us consider that the first row, if I take, the branch which are associated with the first node are 1, 2, 5. That means the remaining branches are not associated. So we have to simply put 0. So now let us fill it. So 1, 2 and 5 are there. So 3 is not there. So I am writing 0. 4 is not there. I am writing 0. 6 is not there. I am writing it as 0. Similarly for the second row, 1 is not there. 3 is not there. 5 is not there, so put it 0. Similarly for the third row, 2 does not exist, 5 does not exist, and 6 does not exist, so let us put it as 0. Now remaining how to fill. So for that now I have to see the reference, the node direction. So if you see for P, the current direction is leaving the node. Therefore, in order to fill this, we have only two options. One is +1, another one is -1. So in order to fill this, what I have to do now is, you have to see the direction of the node current. It is leaving the node. Therefore, the current leaving the node has to be taken +1 and the current entering the node has to be written as -1. Now let us write down 1, 2 and 5. If I see for 1, 2 and 5, 2 and 5 are leaving the node, 1 is entering the node. Therefore, 1 I have to write -1, 2 I have to write +1, 5 also I have to write +1. Okay. Similarly for Q. Now see, one thing you have to remember here, the directions of writing +1 and -1 will vary according to the direction of the P, Q and R. They won't remain the same for all of them. Please remember that. So now coming to Q. Now if I see at Q, the direction of the current is entering the node. Therefore, you have to now write the Q. For Q, entering the node has to be +1 and leaving the node has to be -1. Now what are the branches associated with Q? We have 2, 3 and 6. We are having 2, 3 and 6. Right? So now you have to see, 2 is entering the node, 6 is entering the node, whereas 3 is leaving the node. So entering has to be considered as positive because Q is entering. So 2 is entering +1, 3 is leaving, so you have to write -1, right? Then 6 is entering, so I have to write -1. Okay. Similarly for R now. Now you have to again see the direction of R. It is entering the node. Therefore, again entering has to be +1, leaving has to be -1. Now -1 is leaving. Sorry, 1 is leaving. So therefore, I have to put -1. 3 is entering. So I have to write +1. 4 is entering. I have to write +1. This is how your cut set matrix has to be written. While writing a cut set matrix, please remember that we need to assume the directions of the currents according to the direction of the node current. Okay. Now, from this cut set matrix, let us understand how to write or how to frame the equations. Okay. Now, how do we write the equations? So now I have to write the equations according to the row wise. So first I will write for first row. So for first row, if I consider, okay, So row wise if I write, it will give me the expression for the currents. Okay, so for first row if I write, so you see here 1 is existing, 2 is existing and 5 is existing. It will give me the relation for the branch current. So how will I write the expression now? The branch currents we will take it as I1 to I6 are my branch currents. Okay. Similarly, V1 to V6 I am considering as branch voltages. Right? So, based on that first row if I write, it is minus I1, okay, plus I2, right, plus I5 is equal to 0. This will be my first equation. Coming to second row. Second row I am getting I2 minus I3 minus I6 is equal to 0. Similarly, third row if I consider, then my equation will be minus I1, right, plus I3, then plus I4 is equal to 0. Let us call this as equation number 1, this as equation number 2 and this as equation number 3. Okay. Now row wise if I write, I will get the equation for branch currents. Now I have to frame the relation between node voltages and the branch voltages. Okay, so for that I have to write column wise. So we have how many columns here? We are having 6 columns. So according to that I have to write the equation. So let me write here. So first let us write down column 1. Okay, so column 1 if I write, then the node voltages I am going to consider as VP, VQ, VR are the node voltages. Okay, now, so column 1 if I write, it is V1 is equal to minus VP minus VR. So if you see the column 1, similarly column 2, then column 3, then column 4, right? Then column 5, then I have column 6. Okay. So column 2 if I write, then it will be V2 is equal to, you are going to write VP plus VQ because you have plus 1 plus 1. Similarly for V3, we will write it as minus VQ, then plus VR. Okay. Similarly for V4, we will write it as VR. Then V5, we will write it as VP. Then for V6, we will write it as minus VQ. These are the relationship between branch voltages and node voltages, right? So let us name these equations as equation number 4. Okay, now we know that according to Ohm's law, we can frame the relationship here. So I can write I1 as I1 as V1 divided by R1. Similarly, I can write I2 as V2 divided by R2. Like that, you can write I6 as V6 by R6. Okay, like I3, I4, I5, I6. Now, what you have to do is all these I1 to I6, first you have to substitute in equation 1, 2 and 3. Then you will be getting 3 more equations. In those equations, in place of V1 to V6, you have to substitute equation 4. Then you have to simplify them. So you will be getting 3 equations in terms of VP, VQ and VR. So we have 3 unknowns and we will be having 3 equations. If you solve those 3 equations, then we will be getting the node voltages. After finding the node voltages, substitute these node voltages in equation number 4. Then you are going to get the branch voltages. After getting branch voltages, substitute them in I1 to I6, you will be getting the branch currents. Right? This is how we are going to solve the cut set schedule based on node analysis concept. I hope it is clear to everyone. So, next class we will discuss how to solve the problems, a few more examples based on cut set as well as on a die set scheduling. Thank you.